What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Wednesday's 6-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. I saw a little bit of that action with the 6. It's kind of like all here and here. I thought I would see you like break it up or do something to that extent, but you said that once upon a time. You know, I don't know. Isn't it that one of those things where you get to hit somebody if they look in the circle when you put it up like that? That's like a high school thing.
Yeah, back in the day, I guess. Yeah.
So weird. Anyway, that was a great introduction. Here we go. We continue on. This slate has been bonkers, but I will say, Greg Ehrenberg, myself, live before lock. The only guy we had a disagreement on was Nurkic, and I have none. He ended up just not actually panning out, which is incredible. I feel like I won something there because he was going to destroy this slate at one point in time, but seems like everybody is destroying this slate. Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier both went off, but I don't even know if you'll need them considering Jaden McDaniels is going nuts. We have Cat going completely nuts in the spend-up options here with Lillard. That Lakers game just got underway, so we'll see how LeBron does as this show progresses. But Ryan, how's your night going?
Yeah, it's going to be tough to say. LeBron James is one of my highest-owned players tonight, so I thought I wanted to spend down and guard quite a bit to jam in LeBron. Hopefully LeBron plays well. I think he's starting off a little slow, so I'll dictate how majority of my night goes. But a lot of interesting positions, a lot of pivots off some very cheap players that I think you could have separated yourself in tournaments quite easily if you went the right way.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that last night we were talking about Jalen Noel. I thought he would be a sneaky play. And then we were texting before this slate started as I began my research like I normally do around, noon my time or so. It gives me 4.5 hours to kind of get set before the shows, before everything else. And let me tell you, I did not expect him to be the most popular player going into the slate. Of course, Kemba and Fournier became more popular with news Derrick Rose was out. But that's one of the things you got to take away from this show is that I ended up with 0% of him because he was 33% owned. And guys like that are sneaky, that end up going to the top of the boards, you've got to know when to hit the eject button. And, when somebody, you're like, oh, I think there'll be a low-owned tournament dart who's playing 18, 19 minutes, and then they're not in the starting lineup. Please get good at making assumptions. We're going to do our best constantly to let you guys know. Of course, I'm on pretty much every NBA live before lock, like 5 days a week. So I'm here to help you guys out. Help me help you just by being aware of certain things like that, because I had a lot of questions about it. And it went from being one of my favorite things to do or favorite plays talking about the night before to my least favorite play going into the slate. Do you have anything to add to that, Ryan?
No, I think you nailed it pretty well. I wasn't as bullish on Noel like you were heading into the day, but there was a lot of other, I think you were very looking forward to roster. I had no idea it was going to be that popular.
I had no idea it was going to be that popular either. I thought he would be like a 5% tournament play.
Yeah, and then things opened up, and he became very popular. I came in way under the field. It seems like that worked out well for me, but I don't know. It's not going to matter if you don't bank nowadays in DFS. You got to bank, or you're going to go broke.
Or you played NHL Showdown for this Vegas Golden Knights final game here before the holiday break. There was overlay on DK, and I absolutely jammed it. But we're here to talk about our sponsor, Yahoo. Here, we want to give them some love here. Of course, you're wearing the DraftKings hat, though. So, I mean, what are we doing here? DraftKings hat. FanDuel, we'll talk about them per usual. They've been putting their salaries out later and later. It hasn't bit us yet. Part of it is that again, we're taping this at 10:50 on the East Coast here. We're getting going, so. Hopefully things like this will be posted the night before, but we've got a 6-gamer to get to. You ready to get going, my guy?
Oh, that's right.
All right, my guy. See, that's good too. Paul George, 10-9. He returned. They got obliterated. They got the doors beat off of them by DeJounte Murray and the San Antonio Spurs. We're looking at 47 fantasy points, though, in 30 minutes, and that's going to be the kind of stuff like I think Paul George is going to be better off here, and I think he could have played 36 minutes. They just didn't need him to play 36 minutes here. I think he's a full go, and you were never going to bring Paul George, who, with Kawhi Leonard continuing to be out, is the most important piece to this Clippers team. You weren't going to bring him back till he was 100%. You got to imagine that you weren't going to play an 80% Paul George because that just does you no good right now. So Paul George, I think, is a full go at 10-9. Yeah, he's expensive, but Sacramento, we love the matchup. It's going to be beautiful here. Trae Young out for Atlanta. Zach LaVine, questionable. So he's doubtful actually here for Wednesday. So we probably aren't going to be looking at him again. The big news for me, I don't know who Toronto is going to be playing at the guard positions, but there were some guys that got picked up. Nick Stauskas is a member of the Toronto Raptors. I know bleeding blue like you do up there in Michigan, that's got to be exciting for you to see. There's going to be a number of these guys that we're going to have to discuss that are just so uncomfortable. But if you group the guard position on Toronto, Svi Mykhailiuk at 3,800 is the only guard, period, that they have on the basketball team that's not in health and safety protocols. So as long as this game goes, that's going to be pretty chalky. But in terms of the guard position on the top end first, where nobody from Toronto exists, who are your favorite plays of the day?
Yeah, I think Svi Mykhailiuk stands out immediately at that price tag. He's going to be asked to play upwards of maybe low 40s minutes at the minimum, just how shorthanded they are. They did pick up some guys, so Nick Stauskas will be there. I mean, Michigan legend Nick Stauskas, he had to bounce around.
CJ Miles will be there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then I saw it. Was it DJ Wilson that they picked up this afternoon? Was another one. Again, yep. I'm losing track. They're not listed on DK. It's not like we're going to be able to roster those guys tomorrow, but holy mother of God, Toronto.
Yeah, they picked up another Michigan guy in DJ Wilson. But going down the point guard list here, everyone's priced appropriately. Darius Garland's up to 9,700. Wow. That's insane to see Darius Garland priced up like that. It's going to be a position where we're going to spend down, I think. I think there's going to be a lot of guard value to go to. In Atlanta, I think I'll be taking my chances on Bogdanovich. That in the Cleveland side of things, Rubio at 6,200, I think is going to be asked to play a lot of minutes. I think we can definitely be going to those guys for sure. Kobe White was strong, and I think he's going to asked to play a bigger role with Neil Caruso at 4,100. I think in that game against Toronto, he stands out to me in the bottom end. I'm not really interested in spending up in the guard position tomorrow. Not much of an opportunity cost, I don't think.
That's it?
Yeah, that's about it.
I was going to say, I was waiting for some Darius. You said Darius Garland 9,700, and my brain checked out. I was like, I don't really know where else to go from here because that is absurd. The most absurd thing I've probably ever heard. Drew Holiday, yeah, he'll be popular here in Milwaukee. Looking at this team, you're going to get all those guards back here, though. Giannis is going to continue to be out here, though. No DiVincenzo, no Giannis still. Those are kind of the Bobby Portis continuing to be out. We'll get to some conversations here about some of those bottom end guys. Boogie, less appealing, I think, is probably what we're learning about things with Boogie, or 4,400 there for him. But played 27 minutes, put up 41. I think we're still going to roster him, but we'll get to that later. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Rest of the guard position, I really got nothing else here too. They have aggressively, and I mean aggressively, priced up guys on DK simply because it is so stars and scrubsy. You introduce guys to the rotation who haven't been there, 3K. I kind of like that they've done that a little bit here so that you don't just get freebies. Because if you had like an AK Darius Garland, like what are you going to do? Like you're just going to play a boatload of him. He makes a spend up option, I suppose. I mean, maybe I'm overthinking that, but maybe you make Tyrese Halliburton 9,700 and make Darius Garland 8,200. That would make more sense to me, but I digress. Let's head over to FanDuel. Keep this train unless you had anything else to add to DK at the guard position.
Yeah, nothing.
Man, that's flatline. You're on a mission here today. I don't have anything else to add here again. We have a lot of dead air. This is not my favorite thing in the entire world. Please fill it up here at the guard position over on FanDuel. Drew Holiday, 9,600. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 8,700 here for him. But Drew Holiday, Paul George, DeMar DeRozan, Shai Gilgeous. I mean, we've got a lot of guys here on this top end. Tyrese Halliburton, 8,100. So weird that that's still going to be in play for me, but it's hard not to, considering you could just look at his box scores the last three. 37 plus minutes in all of them. 41 last time out against Golden State, and that lost 49.3. Just so many minutes and so much security for the second-year guy out of Iowa State University. Talk to me about the top end of guard in FanDuel.
Okay, top end of point guard, shooting guard over there in FanDuel. I mean, all these guys are really expensive. I really like Paul George's price tag at $9,200. I think you can definitely go to him with some confidence. I against the matchup against Sacramento, I like going to that. Sacramento will continue to be shorthanded. Tyrese Halliburton has been balling, but now I think he's priced appropriately. I'd rather be willing to save $400 and go to Middleton. Keep in mind, I think Middleton's coming back from a lower body injury, so there might be some minutes restriction there. Toronto guys who are available on FanDuel are Yuta Watanabe, Svi Mykhailiuk, and I think Brandon Goodwin. Brandon Goodwin is point guard eligible. Yuta Watanabe and Svi are both shooting guard eligible. I think they will be just organically in play just because of how short-handed they are. especially Watanabe and Svi. They've been with the team all year long, and I think Nick Nurse will have the most confidence in going to them by giving them the most minutes. And I have no issues going to those two guys. I think there's going to be a lot of minutes being played there. Buddy Hield is, I think, still too cheap, $5,800. They priced him up $700. I know he started off game slow, but I think he's just finding his way to paying off at those chalk ownership levels. So he's going to be a tough pivot off of that ownership. If you want to pivot off him, I think you can go to Will Barton, $100 cheaper, shooting guard, small forward eligible. And now we finally see Josh getting in the 7K range. I think now that's appropriately priced for him, where I'd be fine just fading him at that price tag. I think he was priced kind of low for a good portion there. Now I think he's priced appropriately, bouncing around a little bit. No one really else. I think DeMar DeRozan's fine. He's been great as long as Levine is not in the picture. It works out for him. Keep in mind, Kobe White does have more of an offensive game than Alex Caruso. So if Kobe White were to start, which he did the second half, it might hamper DeRozan's usage a little bit. But I think Kobe White's a little too expensive, $5,500, just because he's gonna be sharing the court with guys like Boucher and DeRozan.
Yeah, he really did kind of show up in a weird way last slate. Devontae Green there, 4K. I bet he's going to be a talking point coming off of 34 and 26 minutes. Feel like people are just playing him for value big time everywhere. And 4K is 4K down there. But again, if it's not for Toronto and you can't necessarily make that work, I mean, I'm looking at the shooting guard position here. Yuta Watanabe, of course, 4,300. Steve McKinley, 3,600. Both going to be crazy popular here on this 6-gamer. And I think probably rightfully so, simply because of the minutes projection that you're going to have for them. I'm not really seeing a whole heck of a lot else here that I want to be going nuts with, because, you're going to get some mid-range options that just aren't going to look appealing compared to most slates, and every Clipper is priced up. Can't really go to them. I mean, I will say back-to-back nights where the late night hammer, other than like LeBron James, the stud of the evening tonight, like, who else did you want to play from these late night hammers? Like, it's going to be the same guys that we talk about all the time here now from Sacramento, but Halliburton's at least priced up, so you have to think about it, even though I'm going to still probably get to a ton of him. But he healed 5,800 is probably not enough there at the shooting guard position. But otherwise, the Clippers side is just so unappealing other than Paul George. I would say that that's kind of the comp I'm looking at, is that the Lakers tonight kind of look like what I believe the Clippers will look like tomorrow night, correct?
Yeah, I think
to an extent.
To an extent, I mean, it's a different slate, but I do think ownership will be pretty low on these Clippers guys. Well, I think the Lakers guys were kind of appropriately owned heading into today's slate.
Yep, Paul George, top end of the Yahoo slate here. Our sponsor, Yahoo. Paul George, $44. True Holiday there at 38, way up there. But against Houston, you're not going to have good old Giannis out there. He's only gone for 52.8 and 55.5 Yahoo points the last 2 games. $38, still underpriced there for him for his kind of upside. $33 there for Shea. Darius Garland, hey, there we're talking $29. A little bit more palatable than the DK tag. That's for damn sure. Lonzo Ball, 29. Halliburton, 29. I mean, we're just going to play a lot of Tyrese Halliburton on Yahoo tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Halliburton and Hield, both are guys you can definitely go to. Those price tags, Halliburton, 29. Hield, 21. I don't mind Barton at 20 or Rubio at 22. Those guys are priced pretty cheap for their roles. Keep in mind, I like Rubio's role. I mean, I think he's going to be asked to do a lot. Potentially has been paying off coming off the bench, so that works out. Other guys who you can take your chances on with no Trae Young, Delon Wright is the min, $10. We didn't get to touch on him on the other sites, but $10 Delon Wright, if he's going to get those starters-esque minutes, even if he doesn't need starters-esque minutes, he can pay off that price tag. Steve McCallick is also $10. Armani Brooks is $11. Man, there's a lot of cheap guys you can take your chances on here. Gary Harris continues to play a lot of minutes at $11. He's never exciting, but he's going to play 40 minutes. He's going to find a way to pay off.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just stars and scrubs to a ridiculous extent, no doubt about it. I'm right there with you. I mean, that's kind of it. Kobe White there, $12 in that same spot. 32 minutes there for him, 31. I expect him to garner quite a bit of attention at $12, but otherwise you hit it. You hit every spot there. I'll throw him into the mix because I'm just curious. No, I'm not going to do it. I want to keep my mouth shut because it's literally a terrible play. Lou Williams isn't in play on this slate, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, good talk.
I would need him to start or some coach speak about him going to play extended minutes, and that alone is going to make things a little difficult for me to go to.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're facing Orlando there in the early window. If he ends up in the starting unit, that's kind of the random thing. Again, I don't want to sound stupid, but Lou Williams has randomly started in games before. And let me tell you, 25 minutes of Lou Williams at the min is always fun. You know what's also fun, Ryan? Yahoo Promotions, because you can go new Yahoo users. Get a free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you deposit $10 or more in any and play in any contest, so a quarter, a dollar, whatever you want, and you will get this one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. It doesn't get any easier or better than this. Plus, promo code XMAS100, XMAS100, gives you $100 first match deposit bonus. They have the 12 days of winning. Again, I saw Ryan was starting to make a jump into the top 100 in that puppy. I know he was making a run over here on Yahoo. They take your top 12 scores. They count your 10 highest. And let me tell you, it's 5K to first. So like legitimately, this free roll is a really, really nice free roll. Yahoo is putting players first. They're doing player forward contests. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. Hopefully I'm somewhere in the top 20 or 50 or whatever else heading into tonight or into tomorrow, because that'll make for a really fun sweat with three days left here. Christmas Day being the last NBA slate. So get in that free roll. They're giving away money every single night for free over there. But now if you go and deposit $10 or more, you get that free month, and you can get up to $100 first match deposit bonus with Xmas 100. Stop guessing, start winning, head to Awesemo. But more importantly, go to our sponsor, Yahoo, the best place to play if you like bankroll, because you'll get more of it over there. Lovely. Again, I just can't tell you enough how great that site is. Go play it. It's a joke if you don't. You just have to, because it's low management fees, everything you could possibly want. Plus, again, 5K to first. When I saw that, I didn't process that until today, that's what the free roll was. They had 5K, 2K to second, 1K to third. I mean, this kind of stuff is ridiculous. So thank you so much to them for their sponsorship and having these amazing, amazing tournaments. All right, let's go to the forward position over on the top end of DK. We got Jayson Tatum, 11-1. It's a big tag for 11-1 Jayson Tatum. Hasn't exactly been playing that well here of late, has failed to exceed 50 his last three, but we know the kind of upside that exists for Jayson Tatum in pretty much any spot. Now, you still have Al Horford out. You still have Grant Williams out, Jabari Parker, Juancho Hernangomez, so on and so forth. And now it looks as though, is Robert Williams good? I thought he had like some kind of a personal issue. Is he back tomorrow?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be playing tomorrow. So,
okay.
Enos Freedom was a one-night stand.
In Philadelphia, freedom. I was singing that the other day. Nobody cares, but it was fun. Paul George, 10-9. Zach LaVine, again, doubtful. DeMar DeRozan is up to 10-2. Came out, hit the ground running here. Chicago, I know you were worried about them sputtering a little bit, but they have just ran off the last two. Since DeMar returned, they beat the Lakers close to there at home. They beat the doors off Houston like they're supposed to. He didn't have to play that many minutes, 32 minutes. DeMar DeRozan against this very, very shorthanded Toronto team should be able to go nuts again. But 10-2, can he pay it off? Can they play enough minutes to pay it off is really the question for me. Jaylen Brown, 9,900 is just an egregious tag for him. Chris Middleton, though, 8,300. Again, flip-flop Jaylen Brown and Chris Middleton's price tag. That would make sense to me, but I digress. Talk to me about the top end of forward.
Yeah, I like Middleton's price tag, $8,300 if there is no minutes limit. I think there might be. OG Anunoby is going to ask to play the lead dog role. $7,900 OG Anunoby is something that I'll be prioritizing. So that alone is going to make me bearish on guys like DeMar DeRozan, Jayson Tatum, Paul George, just because I think I got to trust OG quite a bit. Harrison Barnes continues to play minutes at $7,100. I think that's a fine place to go to, but I think it's going to be another Chris Boucher night. At $5,100, Chris Boucher, I think will be a priority play of Toronto. I hope he will start and kind of have to run the show there as that team is shorthanded. Other forward eligible guys in Toronto that we should be considering are Svi and Yuta Watanabe. Svi 3,800, Watanabe 4,000. I think both of those guys are strong value spend down plays. I think in the Cleveland situation, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the front court, so I'm shying away from guys like Osman, Love, and Larry Markkinen. honestly, that's really sparks my interest right now. I mean, another guy who has forward eligibility is Onyeka Okongwu. Clint Capella entered health and safety protocols there as well. Okongwu might be asked to play a little bit. Keep in mind, he's coming back from injury. I'm not sure what the minutes will look like, but a spend down option and Onyeka Okongwu is another option that you can go to.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it. And for the most part here, I mean, John Collins, let's put him into the mix. 7,300. Hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm Eric. It's very nice here. I like your outfit. That's all I got here from the forward position as well. Let's head to FanDuel. Top end, Jayson Tatum, 9,900. Paul George, 9,200 there at the small forward position. But then you got a big jump down. Christian Wood going to be questionable. I saw that news pop up here on Wednesday. Played 30 and 29 minutes here the last two. Hasn't played a boatload of minutes, but there is upside there. John Collins just sticks out like a sore thumb there at 7,400 to me. For sure. Chris Middleton, 7,700. Even Jaylen Brown. He's been playable over here on the old FanDuel.com. Put up 45 there in his last game, and he was pretty popular. He should be popular again, 7,500. I would expect just a much, much better tag. But OG Anunoby, the chalk of the position, 7,200. Talk to me about forward over on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'll start where you left off. Love OG at that price tag, $7,200. I'll be spending up for Middleton, like you said, the minutes limit if there isn't one. I think Jayson Tatum's fine to go to $9,900 in a matchup versus Cleveland. His teammate Jaylen Brown. You can mix and match a lot of these guys. FanDuel hasn't priced these guys up as aggressively as DraftKings. So we'll be, I think, going to guys like Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield yet again, $5,800 and $6,100 for those two guys. Makes a lot of sense to go there. If you want to pivot off of those guys, Barton comes in at $5,700, but OG is the class of the position. And Paul George, $9,200, makes a lot of sense yet again here on FanDuel. There's a lot of great options on the small forward, power forward eligible guys. I mean, it's tough not to like these guys quite a bit. I mean, other guys you can take your chances on who have small forward, power forward eligibility. I mean, those guys stick out. I think some power forwards that we should probably touch on. Probably Boucher. Boucher is center eligibility here. I think another power forward eligible guy. I mean, we touched on Harrison Barnes. Honestly, that's really about it. I think we circle around some solid guys. I think Jayson Tatum would be another one if you want to spike that 70-point ceiling he has within him. But that's a long short tournament play.
Why does Lauri Markkanen suck?
I don't know. He's $4,900 and he sucks. I mean, I don't know what's going on. He should be like a much better player than this. He started off his rookie season so well, then got hurt. A lot of coaching changes in Chicago. It's just one of those guys. The fit never worked out. I thought he was going to find a way to figure things out. It just never happened. I still think there's talent there. I don't know what happened to the finisher.
Yeah, I mean, Hoiberg. I don't think it was Hoiberg's fault that ruined him. Do you? I mean, what?
No, it was Jim Boylan. He was the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was right after that. So it's so weird. I don't know what to tell you. I thought King Lauri was going to be a thing. He's more like Pauper Lauri. It's not enjoyable. He needs to figure that out. That'd be great. He's a court jester. He needs to be the king. Let's go. But 4,900, I'm sure I'll have a little bit because I hate myself. Whatever. Kevin Love, he's playing low 20s minutes. I don't really want to be taking that shot there at 5,700. I'd rather, it's so gross. I'd rather play King Lauri, and I don't want to even just admit it. Dean Wade, stay away from me. Don't even deal with that. Too low of a fantasy point per minute guy. But again, with no Mobley, no Jared Allen, we got to have these discussions and figure your shit out, King Lauri. Let's move over to Yahoo here on the forward position. Top end, Jayson Tatum, 46. DeMar DeRozan, 38. John Collins, 29. That looks really nice. Chris Middleton, 28. That looks really nice. OG Anunoby, that looks the nicest of all of them. I've got three guys that you can just fire into lineups, and Collins, Middleton, and Anunoby with no apprehension in the world. They're all sub $30. That looks awfully lovely on Yahoo. Who are your favorites? And out of those three, who do you prioritize the most?
OG probably at that price tag. I think it's tough not to love. I mean, if you want to spend on a little bit more, Chimeze Matu, $16. He's been solid. Nothing outstanding, but just been solid. Yuta Watanabe, also $10. Look, Watanabe is just going to play a lot of minutes. He's not the most exciting fantasy point per minute god. He's a Japanese legend. I don't know why I call him point per minute god.
Just say, come on now.
He's a Japanese legend. Other guys that I think are priced favorably here. I think you can go to $11 Darius Baisley. That's a tournament play over there. Not that exciting, honestly. You nailed it. I mean, it's Middleton, OG, DeMar, Harrison Barnes, Chimeze Metu. Wendell Carter, if he plays for some reason, which would be shocking. I don't know if he's going to play, but you can go to him at $26.
Just ridiculous. What a world we live in. Going through these slates is just insane. Let me just tell you, news is going to change the slate a lot tomorrow. Be prepared, buckle up. That's the way. We should almost have something where we do like a 3-minute intro that's the same before every single thing. You know, when in advertisements where it talks really, really fast and they're like, purchase may be necessary. You want to pay attention to all the things. You want to do the thing with the thing with the thing and all of the things. You know what I mean? You talk no purchase necessary. We need to have something like that in order to like not be liable for everything that we said the night before, because again, so many things are going to change.
Yeah. I think, I hope our viewers know that by now. I'd hope our listeners would know that by now. I think they do. I think they do.
I think they do too. Again, I just assume maybe not. That's kind of that's where I start at here. But hey, we're going to fly through this 6-gamer. This is going to be a short one. I like this. I like this efficiency we have going here tonight. Yeah, no dead air, but like, you know, we're moving to the center position we go. There's this guy, Nikola Jokic. He's $12,600, and I don't really care because I like raw points on these slates. And Nikola Jokic coming off of we can't really call it a dud. He played 26 minutes and put up 49.5. So in terms of fantasy point per minute rates, the dude was nearly a 2 fantasy point per minute guy, but he's probably leaving a sour taste in people's mouths because they just obliterated Atlanta. I don't see that disappointing. I want to play a lot of him at 12-6, and I should have value. I should be able to do it. Are you with me?
Yeah, I think there's enough value to jam him in. He has 80-point fantasy point upside. He's up to 12-6. It's been a while since we've seen a player priced at $12,600. Jokic taking on an OKC team. He should absolutely eat. Now, spending down will be a popular build. I think a lot of 2-center build with the value that's in play. Gorgui Dieng is $3,100 with no Capella. Chris Boucher, $5,100 over there in Toronto. I think if Rashawn Holmes plays, I think he's a fine option to go to 64. And you've been hammering home John Collins throughout this show. So I think John Collins is someone you can take some chances on indefinitely. But there's not that many center options outside of spend up outside of Jokic and Vooch. So it's going to be fun to mix and match some of these cheap centers that we have presented on tomorrow's slate, because there's a lot of cheap centers that you can go to.
Yeah, there's a ton, but you know, in terms of you can play one alongside Jokic. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it on DK on FanDuel. You know, there's not enough of a gap, I don't think, for me when you're talking about an 11-4 Jokic. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But DK, props to them, 12-6. That's a big number to be paying for. And you know, I can play at power forward, my friend John Collins, and then try to, you know, whether it's Dieng. I didn't know if Gorgui Dieng was going to end up getting the start. He surely did not here. And you know, played 6 and 4 minutes. If he ends up in the starting unit, whoever it is from Atlanta, I'm assuming it's going to be Okongwu, so we can just fire him up here. Only played 14 minutes, so maybe he's got bubble wrap on him, and that's tough, but still a good fantasy point per minute performer when he's on the floor. Last guy I'll throw into the mix simply because, you know, good juju coming off of a 33-minute implosion crazy game here. He had to sit out, though. Daniel Tice is back, 3,300 on DK. I didn't talk about him at the power forward spot. 3,300. That seems like something that can be usable. So throw it into the mix. And Cousins, Tristan Thompson, 4,400. Great spots. Let's head over to FanDuel. Nikola Jokic, 11-4 there for him. But then Nikola Vucevic is 8,800. And, you know, I did think that he would probably benefit a lot from actually having some time off. And, you know, obviously you don't want to have COVID and have time off. That doesn't seem as fun. But being able to just kind of chill, relax, and get his head right, because he is not playing good basketball at the beginning of this onset. It was all Zach LaVine and all DeMar DeRozan, and he just wasn't shooting the ball very efficiently. I think he's looked a lot better. Just the eye test and overall, you know, he had the really nice game right out of the gate against the Lakers after a week off. Houston, equally, you know, efficient for the most part, 8 for 18. That's, you know, better. That's trending up from what he's been for the season. He'd been shooting as a center 44% from the field, and that's just not going to get it done when you're as good offensively as what he is. You know, and from 3, I think on the season, he was shooting like legitimately. Yeah, he was shooting 41% from the field this season overall, and 34% from three. He's been better than that. So I think he's going to be somebody who benefits. And if I want to pull the trigger in tournaments, I'm going to do it on FanDuel because I think 8,800 having that chasm between Jokic, Vooch could go for 52 and Jokic could go for 62, and you're probably in a good spot. Are you with me on Vooch tomorrow on FanDuel?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Should be a cake matchup for Vooch. And if Billy Donovan has a game plan, the ball should go through Vooch. It can definitely plan out. $8,800.
Joakim Noah 2.0.
I don't know about that. I think
Billy Donovan season, baby. Let's go.
Vooch, much subpar of a defender than Joakim Noah was, but
yeah. they're literally the opposite basketball player. Yeah. One, I don't want shooting to save my life. The other one, I want playing defense. Well, same guy, save my life on defense. But I don't know. I'm just having fun.
I really like Christian Wood. If he was going to go at $8,200, I think that's a price tag I'd be willing to take my chances on. Power forward center eligible. Spending down might be an option if you want to miss out on Jokic and Vooch. I think we've touched on Gorgui Dieng, Chris Boucher. Chimezie Metu was in completely out of play at 6K. I know center, you only get one on FanDuel, so you better nail it. So the opportunity cost of missing on Jokic and Vooch might be a little higher now that I think about it. Outside of that, how did I guess Isaiah Hartenstein's already been ruled out. I think we can take another chance at Zubac. I know Ibaka returned, so that Zubac play might not be as fun, but it could pan out for you tomorrow night. I'm just thinking, yeah, center is not that fun tomorrow. It's just like it is what it is. It's not like
you're playing Jokic and Vooch on FanDuel.
What's that?
You can go to Metu and you could go to Metu and you could try to go Cousins again, but like legitimately, it's Jokic with a 50-point floor. And then can somebody else put up 48 or something out of that bottom tier? I think in terms of the most likely guys to do it, I think if I had to take one guy underneath 7K to save your life tomorrow, who do you pick?
You get one. On FanDuel?
On FanDuel.
Save my life.
You get one and I get one, and we'll do it for Chipotle. You can play anybody you want under 7K on FanDuel at center. I'll give you first pick.
I'll go Chris Boucher, $5,100 Chris Boucher.
I'm going to go Chimezie Metu.
Okay.
6K. What?
No,
we both bypassed Boogie, which is probably stupid, but whatever.
No, I don't think it's that stupid. I think Chris Middleton coming back in, and I mean, Boogie needed a lot of things to go right for him to get there last game.
Yeah. I mean, here we go. Chris Boucher. I mean, Zubats, I absolutely love his existence, and maybe I should have just picked him because I've always had good juju with him. My favorite player in the NBA for anybody who wants to know, because anytime somebody puts up 55 as your last player
in the comment section, they want
favorite center play on FanDuel under 6K. Who to save your life? If you need somebody to beat Joker tomorrow, well, hang on, not beat Joker, but end up optimal.
It should be like they got to pick either me or you. So I was gonna say, they want Metu or do they want Boucher?
Yeah, do you want Metu? Do you want 35 minutes of Metu, or do you want to have 25 minutes, even with 8 humans on the Toronto roster tomorrow? Watch DJ Wilson play more minutes than Chris Boucher. Nick Nurse would totally do that. Let's be serious. He so would. Let's go to Yahoo and get ourselves out of here. On the top end, $56, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Vucevic, though, $33. Hello. You want to talk about a chasm? That's a gigantic chasm. Do you have a pull between those two on that site?
I mean, $23 is going to do a lot over there. $23 is going to do a lot on Yahoo, and I like Vucevic quite a bit there. If Holmes plays, he's pretty outstanding at $19. Christian Wood is not completely out of play. Boogie Cousins is $12, which is exciting. Other spend down options, there's not that many exciting ones. I mean, we've touched on a lot of them. I believe you can go to the likes of, if you want to, you can go to Gorgui Dieng at 10 if he's starting. I mean, Gorgui Dieng's a pretty good point per minute guy over there. Christian Thompson's still $10 there, which is pretty exciting. I think he's pretty strong $10 value over there. But Vooch is the class of the Yahoo center position, and you can't tell me otherwise.
I love Vooch. I was on mute. I love Vooch tomorrow. It just needs to happen. He's going to put up a 50 spot on Toronto. I don't know what they're going to humanly possibly do to combat him. DeMar DeRozan, it's going to be a team that I think he is always going to want to chuck the ball against a lot. But Toronto shipped him off to San Antonio for a bag of potato chips, along with his friend Jakob Poeltl, our friend Jakob Poeltl. I definitely love that guy. But hey, that does it. That's the center position. That is the entire slate. Nice tight 30 there for us today. Look at you go, Ryan. We're just efficient over here. That's what it is. Any final words for the people as we get out of here?
No, good luck. Leave those 5-star reviews on the Apple Podcast feed. Subscribe, and good luck tomorrow. It's a NBA slate. All it's by itself. No, we don't need to worry about that NFL nonsense anymore.
Today was brutal. He's Team Boucher. And again, I'm Team Boucher too, but I'm Team Metu tomorrow, baby. Let us know in the comment section below who you want on FanDuel. Raw points. Winner gets Chipotle. That's the way that I look at it. Again, Team Boucher, Team Metu. We'll see you later.